Hey everybody. Hello boyos. This is the London Spoilercast. We're talking about Loki episode 5.
Yes,
Fucking fantastic. It
I
was
agree.
so fucking good, dude. This episode sealed in that this is like one of the better, for me personally, one of the better MCU movie TV show thing out there. And I'm including like Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1's really good. And I'm including Spider-Man Homecoming and the other one, Far From Home. This is right up there with them. Like, it's so good. And it started off so like it could have gone bad, it could have gone good. It's doing everything right. It is doing everything right, and I fucking love this show so much.
I completely agree, and it's funny. It's funny you say this, right? Because the last show, right, Falcon Winter
Mhm.
Soldier, there was a few episodes where you're like, I really like that episode, and I was like, I don't like it, and I went into
Right.
it, I'm like, I like this episode. I bet Nick isn't gonna like it, and this
Yep.
one, I was watching it, and I'm like, I really like this episode, and I bet Nick is gonna like it too. There was
Really?
just something about this episode. I'm like, this episode just rules.
Well,
It's
so they had the characters for you. The characters in this episode are so fucking good.
mm-hmm.
Like, they're so well written. The chemistry between Loki and all the other Lokis and Miss Loki and Owen Wilson's character, they mesh so well. Even the point where like all the Lokis get together and they're like fighting and he's like, I don't want to be here right now. I'm just gonna, avoid everybody and tiptoe around and just like even his like interactions with the alligator Loki is
Yeah.
super good. Like for you, that I know that character development is like your number one. I feel like the characters in this episode were fantastic. Um, for me, the area was really cool. I love locations. I loved classic Loki bringing back Asgard as like a fucking um, illusion or whatever. It felt so good, and it had like essences of the first Guardians of the Galaxy where they're like holding hands and like they grab the soul stone, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like it kind of felt like that moment where it's just like, yes, we're fucking connected, and it just felt really good, you know? I enjoyed it.
I completely agree. And, you know, I think you said it last episode where you're like, this is like the first one where like I need to go back and watch it again. I feel
Hmm.
that for this one, like
Oh yeah.
hardcore, because the amount of Easter eggs that were in
Yeah.
this episode were insane. Like there was Thor as a frog was in there somewhere.
Hmm.
Thanos's helicopter was in there.
Yeah.
There all sorts of weird shit, like all the different Loki variants, and I totally agree. Like the characters, right? Like what they did with classic Loki, like the old man Loki, they
Hmm.
give you this character that we've never met before, but we have because he's Loki, but we haven't because he's
Right.
a variant of Loki.
Right.
And by the end, when he's doing this cool ass shit, like summoning Asgard, and he ends up dying in the end, you're like, damn, you
Yeah.
know, like, and you felt it,
Yeah.
and it was like they
And they
built
did
this
that.
character like so well, yeah,
And they did it within 45 minutes. You
yeah,
know, like that's
yeah, exactly.
mind blowing. Like you can't. There was more like what there was more chemistry and character development in this one episode than the entire run of Fast and Furious.
That's
Like,
true.
good lord, man! Like you just feel for all of the characters that are in there, and yeah, I don't know, dude. I like it's weird that like he's attracted to himself, but it's not that weird. You
But
know,
also
it's like
like
if there's a girl version of me, it's like that's the perfect girl, right? She's just fucking me, you
it
know?
it also
I
seems
know,
it seems a
I know
little
what.
it seems a little one-sided. I will say that
What do you mean?
that romance blossoming. It
I
feels a little
I thought
one-sided, but
so too on the last episode where he like grabs her and he's like, "Hey, I have something to tell you," and then he gets pruned, and I just didn't feel like she was there. She was just like, "What? What do you got to tell me?" Like, no big deal. But like when they're sitting and he like gives her like the shitty blanket or whatever,
mhm.
it's like, and then you kind of get back into her backstory. She's like, I've never had anybody, and it's like, oh, she's just a very reserved person. So
To,
she doesn't
yeah.
like, she
To
doesn't show it very well. Like, hey, I care about you, and she doesn't want to show it because she's always been alone. And I think she did a fantastic job
to me
portraying that,
it still seems a little one-sided as far as like a romantic interest.
or
She
a friendship. Yeah.
To me it seems like she's more interested in just like, I'm so down to have this Loki as my homie and like my brother sort of thing.
Hmm.
And he seems more interested in putting it in. But
I don't know though.
despite
I don't know. Like, it could be
despite
little
that,
sister. Like, it could be little sister.
and
You know.
I hope it's that. I hope it's that because I think just as far as the general audience goes, like having the two Lokis hook up seems a little weird, but uh, maybe I don't know. Like it is Asgard, and like Norse mythology is all about incest, so I'm sure. Just don't think about it too much. I have a feeling one of them's gonna die in this next episode, uh, and
I
that's
think
how
so
I
too.
think they'll wrap that up. And probably Tom Hiddleston, right?
Right.
Um, again,
Again,
Die
yeah, they
again.
kill him.
The,
But they make so many jokes about it. Like, they bring it up a lot of times. He's like,
yeah.
I've died so many times. We're good at surviving, sort of thing.
Mhm.
You know?
So like a lot happened in this episode though, like because not only did we get like that whole thing, which I think we'll touch on again in just a second. I want to touch on the Sylvie stuff, like beforehand, where she's like dealing with the director of the TVA, whose name I'm
Hmm.
totally forgetting right now, and
Yeah, it's something like Ramona Flowers or some shit
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
Ramona or something, and they leave it a little bit on like a cliffhanger of like what's up with her, and like I don't know, she has this weird interaction with Agent B-25 or
Right.
B-15.
Right, right,
Uh,
right.
that conversation that she had with her was very strange to me. That was like maybe the weirdest part of that episode for me because it was like, why is she being so weird about it? Not Ramona or whatever her name
Right.
is. The person in the cage. Like, why is she like talking like a villain almost? Like, you'll never find out what's going on. And it's like, I don't know, man. It seems like you guys are both after the same answers. you know?
Right.
I don't know why that conversation was just
Well,
really weird to me.
I don't
But they leave it on like such a weird thing, where it's like the whole time I was expecting her to be like, I've known all along,
right.
and she never
Right.
did that.
Well, maybe
She seems a little confused herself. So
it's not too late. Like, I still have a feeling like she's knows. She's just putting
yeah,
on an act like she doesn't know.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
and I think that's why they left it on a cliffhanger. Yeah,
she is the big bad that created the TVA. And I think that's gonna be like the twist at the end. Is like, yeah, I created it, and then what's her face? Sylvie's gonna kill her, but she's gonna kill Loki before that, or something like that. Um,
what if
but
she's a
I've
Loki variant in and of herself?
that'd be kind of interesting.
And it's like I built the TVA, like the TVA was built by Loki's, and
I mean, the way this show is going, it could possibly be. Um, but I have a feeling that she knows more. She's just saying like, hey, um, I don't know anything, just to get more information. Because if she was like, hey, I'm a level with you, lady that I've enslaved in my little puppet game. Um, I'm the person that created the TVA, and I need to know everything. She wouldn't give her anything. She'd be
but that
like, just send
conversation
oh,
was, that conversation was she was playing it like I'm still involved with the TVA. I still love the TVA. And then the person in the cage was like, "You don't know what's going on, do you?" And she
Yeah,
was like calling her out, and it's like,
right.
I don't know why you're calling her out. You should try and level with her right now, because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
if you sense that in her, that means you guys are both after the same thing, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe you guys should just talk it out. but
Yeah, but she's in a cage, and I get that.
but she
Like,
could let her
if
out of the cage.
she could, but when you're pissed, I don't know. When your whole life has been taken from you and you get put in a cage, you're kind of pissed at the person who did it.
I guess, but like, look at what happened with Mobius and Sylvie. They had a nice little, like, hey,
All right.
sorry I
Yeah,
chased you and shit. Sorry I put you here. My
that
bad.
was really cute. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And this kind of confirms what I was saying, where it's like when they put those little bombs out and send everything away, they send it here to
It
get
get
eaten
destroyed.
by the big
Yeah.
dragon man. Uh,
I thought it was like a little dog. It looked like a dog,
I
like
don't know, a
a
cloud
cloud
dog.
dog.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
just devours everything.
Look
That
like,
scene with the fucking battleship was sick.
yeah,
It was sick.
fire. Yeah,
That
that
was
was
like
sick.
the coolest. Like the CG in this show kind of sucks at points.
I feel like
Like
they spent all their money on this episode, though.
there was a point in the beginning though that I'm like, oh, really?
I don't
I
know.
don't
I felt
remember
like
what point
this.
it was, but the that battleship scene where they get like disintegrated, I'm like, holy cow, that's awesome. You know?
That there was also just like the visuals of this show felt just very almost and I mean this in the best possible way, like cartoony almost, like comic booky, I
Comic
guess.
books. Yeah,
Yeah.
comic books.
And
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I really I really felt it in this episode, and I feel like if I ever decided to rewatch this series again, which of all of the three, I think this is the one that I'd want to rewatch the most so far.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, unless the last episode really drops the ball, which these shows tend to do, it seems. But you know, I would appreciate the visuals a lot more, I think, because it seems, especially with this episode, like they were really going for something. Like one thing in particular that really caught my eye was when they all start laughing at Loki, our Loki, and
Hmm.
classic Loki like laughs and like pulls up his cape, and then when the cape comes down, he's sitting like he like flashed into his chair. Like there was just a lot of like cool little nuances like that with the
Huh.
visuals that
I didn't notice that.
yeah, he laughs, he throws his cape up, and then when the cape comes down, it's like he
He's already
magically
sitting.
sat. Yeah,
You think that I don't know. I feel like he could have just like threw the cape up, sat down, and then as the cape just kind of falls
that
down, and
I don't know. You watch it again; it's very
it's
evident that
very
that's what they
like,
did. Um,
huh?
yeah, because it's not like he quickly sat down; he was like settled in the chair. You know, like
Oh,
yeah, lots of cool little visuals like that, and then like I love all of the extra Lokis that came up, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, because some people may take this as an insult, but I mean it in a very genuine nice way. That scene where all the Lokis come and they're all just like fighting with each other and like they're all backstabbing each other, which is hilarious because that is what Loki
yeah,
would do. And then
yeah,
the one our Loki is like, "Ugh, god damn it." Very much Rick and Morty to me. It felt like Rick and the
yeah.
Council of Ricks, and
And he's just like, walking. He's
like
just avoiding
our
bullets and
Loki,
walking away.
our Loki is the most Loki of the Lokis, just like Rick is the Rickest Rick
Well,
or whatever.
they even say though, like they say like he's not the young Loki like stands up. He goes, "You're not like us," and I think that's true to the effect of like he has changed.
Well, and it's because of
He
Sylvie.
right, right, and because she's not like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. He's just like this doesn't matter anymore. And even classic Loki gets like that right at the end. He's like the fucking the grand purpose or something like that. He found his purpose and it was like that's it. He was selfless. It was a selfless act that he did in order to save two other people. And I think that's like what kind of shifts for Loki, like every Loki, is there's like a turning point. There's somebody they meet. Because even the Loki that we had in the movies, he shifts. I don't remember what point it is that he shifts, but he shifts to a good guy, you know?
Right.
Um,
Well, and it's a constantly, erratic thing with Loki. And if Loki continues to be in the MCU, I hope he maintains that sort of middle ground
right.
where he's like a
Right,
good
yeah.
bad guy.
He's
I
he's like
I don't
he's
want him to
like
go
a
quite full Vegeta. I want him to stay a little
he's like
evil.
he's like a relapsing drug addict or something, you
Mhm.
know, where he just kind of slips out of it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then comes back. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm real sorry about that. Can we be friends again?" And they're like, "Ah, fine, whatever." Um,
Well, I think
yeah,
like the thing about Loki is he is a narcissist, but deep down he does have a heart. Um,
right.
yeah, and I like that about Loki. Um,
It seems
yeah,
like he does that when he has somebody he cares about, you know,
yeah. But even
even
when
if it
there,
is himself.
well, even if there is someone he cares about, like Thor, it does.
Well, he always goes back, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, he does, but he doesn't. And I really liked that about the kid, right? They're like, respect the kid. And they're like, why? And he's like, he killed Thor. They're all
Right.
like, oh, shit.
Oh shit. This kid's badass.
And good call, just like leaving the the kid Loki like sort of ambiguous. We don't know where he is. We don't know what's going to happen with him in the future, which is good because then he can just kind of show up whenever in future properties, which he probably will. Young Justice. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Uh,
Okay.
Young
Okay.
Justice.
Young
Young
Justice. I
Young
was just
Avengers.
about to say Young Justice. What the fuck?
Young Avengers.
We in the
Yeah,
wrong. We on the opposite side of the coin on that one.
I loved Alligator Loki too. Dude, he bit that dude's hand off. I was dying laughing. That
Yeah,
was great. That
I
was
thought that was
hilarious.
pretty cheesy.
Yeah, dude, that whole fight sequence was fucking
Yeah,
cheesy as shit, but I loved it. And it looked like they filmed it like they had like they bought props from a dollar store and like spray
yeah,
painted them and shit.
yeah, for
And but
sure.
like I liked
Especially
that.
that guy's hammer. He was like
Yeah.
holding up the hammer, and it's like two fucking pieces of cardboard, and you're like, "What the fuck? What
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
budget did you guys use for this?" But
But
it's
I felt
yeah,
like that was intentional. Yeah.
yeah, for
I really
sure.
liked it. Yeah. That whole sequence. And yeah. Like how is Sylvie so strong though? She was able to like enchant
Well,
the
that's the only thing she knows how to do, though.
enchant.
Like she doesn't do the tricks like other Loki. She doesn't have like the illusion magic, you know? Like she's she's been enchanting everybody for who knows how long, centuries, you know?
Well,
Um,
what everyone's been saying since Sylvie's shown up is Marvel, DC obviously has a character called Enchantress, and Marvel has a character also called Enchantress. So what everyone's saying is like the Sylvie is gonna be Enchantress, basically.
huh.
And when she said in this episode, like, these clothes suck ass, everyone's like, oh, she's going to end up in, like, the Enchantress outfit, which I really don't know much about. I'm kind of talking out my ass right now.
I don't know anything
But,
about it.
yeah, that's just a interesting, fun little fact for you. I don't know.
I've never heard of the Marvel Enchantress. I'm gonna look her up right now.
Um, what else? Yeah, classic Loki blew my socks off. I forget the actor's name. He's, like, a very famous actor. Classic Loki actor. Richard E. Grant. Um, he killed that role, dude. He absolutely destroyed that role. Uh, Perfect
Yeah, yeah,
casting.
he did. He sure did. Okay, so this is off Wikipedia. Enchantress is a common primary alias of two fictional characters appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. The first of these is a powerful sorceress with the real name Amora. She is one of Thor's greatest enemies. I have something to say about that. The second Enchantress is the young Sylvie Lushton, who was given great mystical powers by Loki when he created her as a tool for chaos. She models herself after the original Enchantress Amora. So it's pretty fucking
So
nose on the head, isn't it?
so she's Enchantress, but it's the MCU's version of the Enchantress.
Yeah, Sylvie Lushton, a member of the Young Master Surfaces, have modeled herself on Amora, the Enchantress, and takes on her teammate, uh, the adolescent who has been given powers by Loki so that he could use her in his schemes. Um,
So different
yeah,
backstory in this one.
yeah. Maybe not though.
Maybe we find
Maybe
out
not though.
she isn't Loki and she is a creation of Loki. Yeah, and maybe that would make their creepy love relationship less weird. Um, um,
Would it though?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Twilight made it work that like the dog fell in love with the baby, So they could do it here.
Yeah, I guess.
It's fine.
But it would make sense for because like a sorcerer, I'm thinking like, creating mind prisons like Dormammu and Doctor Strange, you know, just fucking with everybody. Like this is right up like sorcery sort of territory where it's like this isn't actually happening or
So for
it's
her being a variant of Loki in the MCU, to me just feels like, hey, it's kind of a bad look if Loki created like a servant. Doesn't really make him look good. What if we just made her a female variant of him? Boom,
right.
problem solved. MCU Sylvie, we got it. Boom.
Enchantress. Yeah.
That's very much an MCU thing to do. Change it ever so slightly to make it work within their own bounds, which is why I love the MCU
Within
so much. Is like
within the current
they
day.
look at the comics for reference, but then they
Hmm.
continue to do their own thing with it, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. What was the big thing called? The world ending thing.
Uh, like you, the
You sound like the fucking you sound
sure.
like the guy, the onion guy from what is that game? The Onion King from cooking
Overcooked.
Overcooked. Thank you. Oh yeah.
Loki episode, end of the world. I'm trying to find it. I don't know why it's so hard to find. Cloud villainy. Loki episode 5. Cloud monster name. Alioth. Alioth.
Doesn't sound right.
That's what it says.
That doesn't sound right.
Here's the backstory of Alioth.
Alioth. Alioth of the comics was first introduced in 1993. Um, her name is Ravonna Renslayer, the
Mm.
director. Um,
Of the TVA, not the show.
Alioth is considered to be the first being that broke free from the constraints of time. It's no wonder then it would make an appearance in Loki. Uh,
Wild stuff. This
there's
is
a there's a
yes.
there's a section here that says Doctor Doom, and I always have to fucking go, ooh, this could be it.
I
But
don't know, man. It's
there's
possible.
in
Like
this
if
article, I haven't read this, so I'm gonna see what this says. It says this is a considerable long shot, despite the fact that we've wanted it to happen for a long time. Doom was the center of Marvel Comics' multiverse shattering Secret Wars event.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, yeah.
and the castle we see in this episode's conclusion sure does look like an awful lot like his humble Doomstat home.
What
Um,
castle?
the castle when they open it up, when they open up
Oh, Do
The
you think?
portal.
Oh my god, that'd be
Every
fucking wild, dude.
every time we get excited about Doctor Doom or the potential Secret Wars thread embedded in the show, we're brought back to reality by the fact that there is virtually no way that Marvel would introduce arguably the greatest villain in a teasing series finale episode, especially not when they've got Kang-centric Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania to tee up with Kang. Uh,
Maybe because, especially since the rumors are that they're currently in production on Fantastic Four in
yeah.
Australia right now. I don't know, man. Possible.
I don't
Shit.
know. I don't know. I doubt it. I really doubt it because like nothing really screams Dune except for the fact that it's like a sorcerer's sort of like domain that's going on, you
Now
know?
hear me out. I don't want to get our hype, our hopes all high, because we're expecting, like in the last two series, we're expecting whatever his name was, fucking uh, big bad man. But I don't want to get our hopes up too much. But it could be possible that they just have like a stinger thing, just like they dropped fucking Thanos like way back in, what was the first time that
Oh,
Thanos showed up?
yeah. He
Avengers?
showed up in like it
Avengers, I
was it
think.
was
Like
before
post
Avengers, I
I
think.
thought I thought it was post credits Avengers one. Um
Um,
I think so.
First Thanos MCU appearance. And I wasn't fucking typing.
Don't you love it?
First
Don't you love it, folks?
Thanos MCU appearance. The Invincible Iron Man. No, that's not
Not the comics.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes. Oh Jesus. I don't need like the whole fucking thing. Uh I don't know, dude. Children.
Avengers.
This goes like
Post
was it
credit scene
Avengers?
of Avengers, yeah.
So yeah, a while.
Yeah. Like 10 years before they actually made Endgame and Infinity War. So like, I mean, maybe you introduce Doom now, so then, you start, threading the needle. And that would be one of the best kept secrets in fucking Hollywood history, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
That'd be
seriously.
that'd be insane.
But people on the internet are going crazy. The castle that Loki and Sylvie see in Journey into Mystery, that was the episode, has strikingly similar European architecture features. For this reason, fans are going haywire over the idea that Loki is already teasing Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four ahead of the inevitable arrival in the MCU. And looking at the pictures of Castle Doom, and like it, I guess it could be, but maybe not.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, but like it'd be fucking cool if it was.
Yeah. It looks more like Kang. Looking at the picture of Kang, this what is it called? Castle Limbo. It looks more like Castle Limbo than it does Castle Doom. Anyway,
I would
it would
really
be it would
I'd
be fucking dope if we got a Doom teaser. I just want a teaser. I want to know that Doom and the Fantastic Four are in the
well,
MCU,
we
and
already know they're in the
they're gonna like,
MCU.
but they're gonna sprinkle them out, and Doom's gonna be like the next big bad.
With that big like teaser drop thing, they already announced that Fantastic Four is happening. So,
I just want
but
I want a big bad. If not the next one, then the one after that to be Doom, and then
Doom.
Galactus. But then once you do Galactus, then it's really hard to do anything above Galactus, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. You make it work. The comics made it work. They're still going.
Mm. Yeah, they just started over.
Yeah, they could have an earth-shattering event and then start the movies over, reboot.
Reboot, yeah, just go to a different timeline.
Yeah, soft reboot.
Could be.
It's the move. Um, any predictions? Like, obviously
I think we
those
pretty
kind of
much
were
said. I think
predictions.
it could be Loki. just fucking with other Lokis or whatever. It could be what's her butt? I just forgot her name. Raisin
Ramona Flowers.
Ramona Flowers. It could be her fucking with something, and they could do like a uh Scarlet Witch sort of reveal where it's like, I've been your neighbor the whole time, but I'm also evil, you know? But like take off the mask. It's me, Doctor Doom. You know, or something like that. Uh I don't know. I think it's gonna be something to do with Kang, which I have to like look up because I don't know Kang
Yeah, I don't know much
a
about
whole
Kang
lot.
either.
So I'll have to like read up on that and
It's impossible to know everything, you know? There's so
yeah,
much.
dude, like I didn't even know the Enchantress was a Marvel character.
Yeah. Um
So,
I
but
want
that's kind of why I love it so much. Like playing through Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4 and doing like the DLC where the cop lady, what's her name? Doesn't matter.
Yuri.
Yuri, yeah, Yuri is actually like an evil character, and I'm like, what Yuri Watanabe? I'm like, what is this character? And it's like, oh, she's a villain. I'm like, oh, I had no idea, dude. Spider-Man's like my favorite. No idea what Yuri Watanabe was
It's
like a
almost like I
villain.
wish I didn't look that up because that would have been a
Well,
huge twist in the
oh,
future games for
well,
sure.
well, but in the DLC, she's like obviously going down that way. So when I
Oh,
looked it
I
up,
haven't gotten
uh,
that far in the DLC yet, dog.
oh really? Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
It's okay. I don't mind
But
spoilers.
like yeah, I looked it up and I'm like, oh shit, she is a bad person. And I looked up what her thing is. I won't tell you anything, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fucking cool. That there's still some shit that I don't know about. Um, although I don't read a whole lot of comics, I just kind of read through the stories, the synopsises a lot of the time,
Yeah.
unless it's something that I'm super interested in.
Yeah. I
And
call myself a comic book fan, but I'm no encyclopedia on any sort of knowledge. You know, like
mhm,
I read the certain comics that I'm like, that sounds cool. I'll read that. I'll look through this. You know, I can't keep up with everything.
yeah,
Uh,
no way,
and
no
you
way.
know, like a lot of these stories come from like before we were fucking born. You know, so like it's yeah, it's impossible. Uh,
Yeah, it's just like if they put all the comics into like a Bible almost, maybe like let's just scrunch it all down into one thing like Wikipedia
I mean,
and just be
shit,
like,
dog.
here's that.
This is just the first collection of Invincible. There's
Yeah,
three of these books. Like you
it's
can't scrunch it
dude.
down.
Yeah, I know, it's stupid. There's got to be like cliff notes that you can buy that is that size for like this is all of Spider-Man forever, you know?
You
And
should
it's just like
if you're interested in like synopsis and stuff in like video form at all, um check out a channel called Comic Explained. It's
hmm,
uh it's really good. He just takes like story arcs in comic books and just sort of breaks it down and like gives you
that's cool.
the cliff notes.
That's usually how I get like my most of my comic information. Like the uh,
Like a
another
comic
Spider-Man
wiki.
was another Spider-Man one was the where everybody in New York turns into a Spider-Man.
Nice.
And I'm like, what? That happens? So I looked it up and I read through it and I'm like, this is fucking bizarre, dude. Yeah.
That's usually
But
how I like
that one only ran for like four comic books or whatever.
that's
So
like
it's
how
not
I
very
find
long.
out about comic books that I want to read as well. Like I ended up reading the Superior Spider-Man series because I'm like, Doc Ock became Spider-Man at some point. I gotta read that. So
Yeah.
I went back and read it because it's fucking just a cool concept that I wanted to check out.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, I wanted to point out we didn't talk about it a whole lot. Fucking Mobius, they're like, so what are you gonna do? And he's just like, I'm gonna burn it
Burn it
down.
down.
He's just
Yeah,
like, oh fuck,
burn it down. Yeah.
damn son,
Like
this
what the
man
fuck is he gonna do? Like they left it so open.
is
I
Mobius.
fucking
Is Mobius a fucking Loki?
I could see that.
I mean, he's a survivor.
Yeah. I could see that. But
Are they
I
all
hope
Lokis?
I hope like the last frame in this movie, maybe not like the end credits, but just before the end credits, like
Steve
the final,
Rogers.
no, is fucking Mobius on a jet ski,
Oh yeah,
like going into the sunset or something
like
like that.
hamming it up. Yeah,
Like yeah, just like enjoying the shit out of it.
or he gets on it, crashes, dies, and we never
Oh
see him
my
in the
God, what
MCU
the
again.
fuck?
It's just
Dude,
like it's his
nah,
biggest
man.
dream, and
Nah, hell no, dude. Fucking
uh,
Lightning McQueen in the MCU is needs to happen.
yeah,
We need to
ka-chow.
Ka-chow! And then he does the thing from like Cars 2 where he just flips for 600 feet and explodes.
Oh man, yeah, I'm very excited for the finale.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude, this show is just like next episode is better than the next, and it
yeah,
just keeps going.
it's
I
it's
love
a
I love it.
it's yeah, definitely. Yeah, it it's more in the
Yeah,
vein of WandaVision, which I really really fucking loved, than Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I was
yeah.
just sort of milk toast on.
Well,
Um,
Falcon and Winter Soldier was very just like this is it. You know what's gonna happen. This is your standard buddy cop sort of.
yeah,
We gotta pull the bad guy in to get the badder guy, and
it just
everything just kind of works out, you know.
it just felt like there was
Whereas,
a lot of stuff like cut from Falcon and Winter Soldier, and like there was a lot of like storylines. We talked about this, but like this one feels like they're doing everything they want to do. So much so that I'm like, I just want more of this shit, which is
yeah,
always a good thing. If you want more, that's a good thing, I think. So
yeah,
yeah, when the episode ended last night, I was like, damn man, I want more of that shit. Uh,
yeah. I mean, if they can wrap it up well, I don't want another one. Like, don't ruin it. But also, this show is so fucking fun.
yeah,
Um, yeah. Just, I wonder what's next. Is it She-Hulk? She-Hulk's gonna be the next one,
I don't know,
or is
but
it What If? I think it's What If is next.
I think it is What If. But we do have Black Widow this weekend, so that's something.
I might be able to do it. I might not. I'm not sure.
Better
I got a
find the
busy weekend, my guy.
better find the fucking time. Just go tomorrow at 5, dude.
I can't.
Why?
I'm busy.
What are you doing tomorrow?
I don't know. I gotta look at, I have something on my calendar. I don't remember what it is though. Well, we got the PlayStation thing tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but that's at fucking 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna be fucking,
I'll be at work for that.
I'll be
Uh,
fucking like so full from that. I can't
okay.
hardly watch a movie
I'm seeing
now.
Black Widow tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Damn.
In
But you got
Dolby
but
Atmos.
you got nothing to do the next day until like later.
Bitch.
If
Yeah,
I go and see if I go and see a movie, that's all I'm doing tomorrow. Like I
yeah.
go to do a movie and then I come home and I sleep.
Yeah, that's going to be me too, dog.
Well,
Yeah.
because you're seeing at 9 p.m.
I get off work at 8. I mean, like, that's just the way it is, man.
It's just the way it is.
We do a
Also,
fucking podcast on MCU shit. Anyway, that's the show. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and check out all the other shows.
please, please. Like I don't know where to look.